morning, everybody. As always, if you like terrible replays, misidentified ships, or just want to hear me cough and sneeze, please drop a like, sub. It really does help us a lot. What do we have today? Today we have literally the closest game I have ever been part of in the 5 years I've been playing World of Warships. We're on the map Atlantic, domination game mode, and I'm in a division here with Louise and Rickenbacker. Apparently it's Rickenbacker, not Reichenbacker, like I've said in the previous videos. I'm in my Odin. Ricken is in his Vladivostok, and Louise is in his Massachusetts. Now, you'll notice we're looking at the point of view of the Massachusetts. Why is that? Well, you'll see in a minute when the game develops. I'm in my Odin. The Odin, poor thing, got nerfed so hard. I jokingly say that my tier 5 Julio Cesar has more hit points than my Odin. And I didn't expect to end up in a tier 10 match. Enemy team has Des Moines, Hindenburgs, Petropavlovsks, Slavas. Yeah, a whole host of things that can really hurt it quite badly. And we see Louise here either shaking his mouse or doing something with it. Louise, you're giving me vertigo. Anyway, so Ricken and myself, we decide we spawn in the middle there. Louise says he's going to go up to C cap, help there. The B cap is a death trap for battleships. You are going to get torpedoed. There's only one destroyer on each side. We've got a Z-23 and they've got a Benson. Ricken and myself, we decide we're going to go down to A. And my initial idea was, if you look at that little outcropping in G3, I was going to park my Odin there, try and bow tank, hopefully not too many ships come there, and get my secondaries to do some work. I use a 19-point full secondary spec German commander on it. And we see a Tirpitz, Percival, Slava already heading down. And there's the enemy Benson. Z-23 spots the Benson. Benson gets engaged. Unfortunately, somebody has taken a potshot at our Des Moines and has literally taken a third of its health away. And I can only guess it is the Slava. You've seen my Slava replay. Well, replays. That thing has incredibly accurate guns. It's got fuck all armor. People that say it's overpowered has never actually tried to survive long in it. We see Louise here firing HE. Trying to get a couple of shots into the Benson. And then our team, back in the grid pattern D1, we see one of our Vladivostoks hasn't loaded in yet. And yeah, that's usually not a good thing. And unfortunately for me, down there, I'm running into a Tirpitz already, and I'm thinking, okay, well, Odin Tirpitz, it's not too bad. I can take it. Louise had the idea of going straight through C here, you were saying on Discord, but then realized there's quite a bit of ships up here as well. Abandoned it and decided to cut around this island. Enemy Petropavlovsk kills that Des Moines that got hit earlier, and we're already one ship down. Off to a great start, as the narrator would say. Oh dear. Louisa shells out on the Bismarck, and he paddles him for 11,000 and another 2,000, so just over 13,000 and a hit there. That was a good hit. And now you can see I've got a Tirpitz, a Massachusetts, and a Goliath with it pushing my poor Odin back there. I'm trying to reverse kite out, get out of A cap at the bottom there, realizing the A cap is a complete loss. Rickenbacker was saying to me, no, he's going to come and help with his Vladivostok. Hopefully they come around the corner and he can do some damage to them. We've got a Kutuzov coming to assist as well. But with the possible multiple battleships down there, it's not happening. Friendly Hindenburg manages to kill the enemy Bismarck, the same Bismarck that Louise gave a paddling to.
Teammate, I need your support.
So Louise is saying to the guys, hey, listen, we need to push up here. When he gets rammed by the Hindenburg. Alright. So it's a North Carolina into Hindenburgs after they've killed the Bismarck, since the majority of the battleships are down there. So you'll notice my Odin in F3. Petropavlovsk unfortunately kills our DD, the Z-23. And I've got an Alexander Nevsky in F4 coming to assist. Unfortunately, the enemy has pushed us, let's call it severely, out of A cap, and we are basically doing a rear guard action. Petropavlovsk kills the Kutuzov. No way that was a fair fight at all. And Louise scrapes the paint off the Puerto Rico now. Oh, the weekend drivers.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
And there's the Massachusetts that killed me with his secondaries. Luckily, the Nevsky manages to kill the Massachusetts.
The ship is on fire.
We are unfortunately 4 ships down to the enemy's 2 ships. Usually not a good thing.
I need support. Teammate, I need your support.
Anchorage torpedoes the Alexander Nevsky. We are now 5 ships down to 2. As you can see, this is going great. Now it's just Rickenbacker in his Vladivostok and in the other Vladivostok. And they are up against Tirpitz, Anchorage, Goliath, Slava, and the Parseval. Yeah, it's not going to go well there. Luckily for Louise, he is pushing this Hindenburg up here. And he manages... The other Hindenburg manages to kill it before it can actually get the torpedoes out. There's still the North Carolina up there and 1 more Hindenburg. And something is turning C cap and the Petropavlovsk is turning B cap. So we don't have any cap points and we are down 2 ships to the enemy team. This North Carolina makes a bit of a grave mistake. And he gets 3 citadels for 43,000. Vladivostok kills the enemy Tirpitz finally. Ooh, and the North Carolina breaks one of Louise's guns. Petropavlovsk kills the Vladivostok. But a friendly Hindenburg manages to kill the North Carolina and just keep us in this game. And I mean just keep us in this game.
Problem solved, sir.
Hindenburg tries to send his other sets of torpedoes, but Louis sees it, speeds it up. And you can see the insane hydro range on the Hindenburg, obviously the German hydro, and I think it's 6 kilometers. Oof. Broadside Hindenburg, and he only incapacitates one of the guns. And he gets 5 more overpens. Man, oh man, was that guy lucky. Unfortunately for him, friendly Hindenburg takes him out as well. In the meantime, Goliath has torpedoed Rickenbacker in his Vladivostok, who was the last remaining ship that we had at both A and B caps. Yes, we're just over 10 minutes into this match, and both Ricken and myself were following Louise here in Massachusetts, and we're lamenting about what an utter shit game we've just had. I mean, I think I did 40,000 damage there before they all swarmed at me and beat me like a red-headed stepchild. Rickenbacker being in the Vladivostok, it's a strong tank ship. He and the other Vladivostok managed to hold it off a little bit longer. Enemy CV is now approaching our CV with torpedo bombers. That means our CV is also being spotted, and that means that the Slava is probably taking shots at our CV. And as expected, enemy Slava pops our Lexington, and the narrator says something that we are all well aware of. The enemy team has taken the lead. Our team has literally 300 points versus the 600-ish points of the enemy team. They have 6 ships versus the 4 that we have. Now at this stage, both Ricken and myself were saying to Louise, damn it, can this thing end so we can just get our ships back and go back to port and play? But this is Louise. And Louise has pulled out a win by literally taking a CV into a cap and killing things with secondaries, etc. So let's not despair too much. So Louise asks the Puerto Rico if he wouldn't mind popping radar. Doesn't look like he has any charges left, or he's not understanding. Percival makes a mistake of bringing a rocket planes into a AA bubble consisting of a Hindenburg and a Massachusetts, and promptly loses the entire squadron. Our team is only at 369 points versus the 740 points of the enemy team. So if all else fails, they will point out before the match ends. The Petropavlovsk is now shooting at the Puerto Rico. So those two fast 3 times. Petropavlovsk, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is shooting HE, pretty much well known. AP penetration on Petropavlovsk not happening. You fire spam that thing until it burns into the ground. And the narrator does his obvious thing again. Enemy team is about to win. And Montana gets a good shot on the anchorage, kills him, and buys the team a little bit more time. And they're only at 760 points versus 444. Enemy Goliath goes a little bit broadside to Louise. Unfortunately, he turned out to overpens a single penetration.
The enemy is about to win. The ship is on fire.
Goliath sets a fire on Louise's Massachusetts. Luis is not an idiot. He does not damage control a single fire, but he does use his repair party to build up a little bit of HP. And the enemy team is now at 820 points versus 470. They've still got 5 ships versus 4.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Enemy Petropavlos kills the Puerto Rico. He gets his Kraken unleashed.
Attention. Reporting the target position.
And the narrator says, battle ends in 5 minutes. So now it is 3 versus 5. And the enemy has 900 points. It pretty much looks like a done deal that we're not winning this one. Remember, you can see the Petropavlovsk, you can see the Goliath and the Slava. The ships you can't see is the enemy Benson and the enemy Percival. And it is a Montana and a Hindi and a Massachusetts against them. Luis takes a salvo at the Slava. I remember Slava is quite fragile on the side, and he manages to score a single penetration for a Citadel. And that is 13,000 hit points they badly needed. But now he's run himself into the Petropavlovsk, and he's got speedy death pylons coming in from the Benson. And they run out in time. Friendly Hindenburg manages to kill the enemy Goliath, and he buys the team a little bit more time just as he also gets his Kraken. Enemy team is at 950 points. I mean, it's 50 more points and they win. And at the rate that the points are ticking, it's a tall task. It's 3 ships versus 4. 960 points now. Enemy team needs 40 more points to tick, and this game is done. Petropavlovsk makes a mistake here and gets too close to Massachusetts. Luis is killed there, manages to even the score, 3 ships even. And it has reset to 922 for the enemy team. Luis takes a pot shot with a rear turret. And the biggest mistakes here were if that Petropavlovsk remained unspotted or just sailed away, they would have won the match by now. Friendly Montana kills the Slava and he buys the team a little bit more time, back to 880 points. Now notice the smoke there, that's the enemy Benson. Benson is firing from the smoke. Absolutely no idea why he would do that, because if you look at the minimap, he got himself within 6 kilometers of the Hindenburg. Hindenburg does not have radar. Hindenburg does have 6 kilometer hydro, and the hydro will pick up the Benson. And a Montana kills the Benson. And suddenly, it is 3-1. They have almost thrown this. There's a minute and 30 left on the clock. They've still got the point advantage. Can Luis kill this Percival in time? Spots a Percival again. Fires with a rear turret. He's got just over a minute. Now remember, Massachusetts has got... Ooh! We see Confederate procking on Halsey. And remember, the Massachusetts now has about 22 seconds to reload his guns, but then you've still got about 8 to 10 seconds shell flight time. 40 seconds left in this match. Can Luis kill this Percival in time? Fires the salvo, 22 seconds, 30 seconds on the clock. 15 seconds to reload, 24 seconds on the clock. Three seconds, 2, 1. He fires the salvo with 9 seconds remaining. And he manages to kill the Parzival just in time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. As always, have a fantastic day. We'll speak soon. Take care. Cheers.